No, they're ignorant. That's ignorant.
Alright guys, welcome back to more Ignorance of Basketball. Now 2 videos back to back. I know you're impressed. I gotta be honest, the only reason I didn't combine these two is because as soon as I finished the first one, we got the update on the Shamet situation, so here I am. It's actually a blessing in disguise because I forgot some stuff that I wanted to say about DA in the last one, so let's talk about it now. Now let's be real, Ayton, his effort throughout the regular season was a joke at sometimes. I was out here calling this man a straight pussy. I thought he was just soft. I found out that he just wasn't trying. He didn't really give a fuck. Clearly, because we saw what he was doing in the playoffs, he went off. But in the regular season, he just took a lot of games off. So it's like, should I give that person the max? And then also, I don't know if you guys are aware of this. I do have a little bit of insight. I know some people on the team, it's not a big deal, but people are talking about it. DeAndre Ayton does this thing before every game. I don't know if it's like a mental thing. It might be religious. Who knows? I don't know the guy personally. But he does dip his hands in baby oil before every single game, so it makes it really hard to catch those passes in the post. So that is why he was dropping so many easy passes that we all saw throughout the regular season. He stopped doing it for the playoffs, but for the regular season, he was doing it just about every single game. So that's another thing Robert probably has to consider. It's like, I get it, the talent is clearly there, but the effort in the baby oil situation is just, may have to cut 20 or 30 million off that contract. And Robert, again, do I agree? Not necessarily, but I understand. I understand you not giving DA this max the same way I hear about somebody getting cut off in traffic and them hunting them down and beating the shit out of them. It's like, I get it, but I don't condone it. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, my kid's in the car. We both could have got hurt. So I'm going to find you and I'm going to fuck you up. It's like, I get it, but I wouldn't do the same thing. Does this make me a sociopath? That's for you to decide. I don't know. I'm really just out here trying my best. But that's enough of the DA situation. If you haven't watched that video, go back and watch it because I made it just for you. Now let's talk about this Landry Shamet situation, right? Because obviously the man has not played one regular season game in a Phoenix Suns uniform. But so I was surprised. I was like, you're going to extend a dude that hasn't even played? But it does make a lot of sense actually coming from James Jones' perspective because Landry was going to go into restricted free agency, right? So let's say it works out really well for Landry this season and he gets bigger offers from other teams. So you got to worry about matching that or maybe even like trading him when you wanted to keep him because you couldn't afford him. So I guess his relationship with Monty was good enough where it's a coach that he trusts. And obviously the Suns are an amazing team. So why the fuck wouldn't you want to play here? So if you could get somebody to sign to a long-term deal, why wouldn't you take that? Because best case, he's undervalued, right, for the Suns. He plays well, and you only have to pay him like 11 a year when maybe he's worth 15, 20. 20 is kind of pushing it, but 15 to who knows, fucking even if it's 12, who gives a shit? You're saving money, right? And then worst case, even if he has a shit season this year, which I don't see that happening, I'll get into that a little bit later, but even if he has a shit year, right? Landry has proven that he can shoot and that he can fit onto a lot of different teams, so he'll be like a good tradable asset, kind of like Dario is now. He's on a low contract. He's a veteran, kind of. So, a lot of teams are going to want him. So I think signing him really makes sense. It might piss DA off a little bit. It's like everybody's fucking getting contracts but me. But, you can't make everybody happy. So I like the move. And I'm expecting really good things from Landry. We do have our beef. I know he thinks about it every day. I think about it every day. And, maybe we'll get to a point where we can talk about it. But for right now, we're still enemies. And I know he's listening, and I want you to know where I stand, Landry. I don't fuck with you, but I will give you your props where you deserve it. I'm not that emotional. But I think he's going to be a seamless fit. I guess he has some sort of relationship with Monty. I didn't really look into it too much but he feels comfortable with him. And I think Monty's going to trust him a little bit more than I've seen other teams trust him and maybe let him do more like, ball handling stuff. Because people treat him like he's like a JJ Redick type, and he did play point guard in college. So it seems like he can do more than what most teams have let him do. And I'm excited for that. If you can do it, do it. I'm all for players that are a little bit more dynamic. I hate like fucking spot up shooters because especially if they can't play defense. But Landry seems like somebody that can do a little bit of everything. And, you know, as long as you're not turning the ball over 15 times, I say go for it. Because if you can put the ball on the floor, you're a lot harder to guard than if you couldn't. You know what I mean? So, especially when it comes to the playoffs. So, I'm excited to see how it goes. I feel like with a move like this, there really wasn't a way to lose. So, I think it was actually really smart. Even though it is kind of weird that he hasn't played a game and you sign him to a 4-year contract. But, you know, it's not like he's a rookie. So, I think that's it, though. I don't really have a whole lot more to say about it. And that's it. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.